When you think of community, who comes to mind? Our first inclination is usually to think of someone who's very much like ourselves, same ethnic background, same educational background, socioeconomic status. And that's natural, isn't it? After all, the word community comes from the Latin communitatem, what we have in common, what is shared by many. 25 years ago, I left my home community in India and went to university in the United States. Two memorable facts from that experience. I found myself doing a PhD in marketing. Do you know they give out PhDs in marketing? And worse, found myself trying to do research on the price elasticity of demand of various brands of toilet paper, among other things. Crisis. Long story short, I did get that degree, but left the supermarket research behind and followed my heart to New York City. There, looking at the flags flying outside the United Nations building, I found my sense of global community. I work for the United Nations Volunteer Program, which is headquartered here in Bonn. But my story is far less interesting than those of the volunteers who are featured in these pictures looping here. Let me tell you about Alejandra Zuna. Alejandra was an architect in her home country of Colombia. When she heard about the 2010 earthquake that killed over 150,000 people in Haiti, she gave up her job and volunteered to join the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Haiti and help rebuild everything from scratch. Working with local volunteers, she helped rebuild over 12 schools using a lightweight, earthquake-safe method that she helped design herself. Mohammed Sarhan was told it would be hard if he volunteered in Darfur, Sudan. But he said he knew all about hardship. He'd been born in a refugee camp in the occupied territories of Palestine. He'd been accidentally infected with polio instead of being inoculated against it when he was a child, endured 5 surgeries. And so for him, it was wonderful to go to Darfur and volunteer with the UN and African Union peacekeeping mission there as a communications and IT specialist. But he took the time to go to the Darfur Disabled People's Club to help provide rehabilitation services. Gloria Kaberia left Kenya, went to Sri Lanka, and worked as a community services officer. But on her one day off, she went to the Mother Teresa home for women who were mentally ill and elderly. There she found joy. There are more. Peter Pri went from Germany to Cambodia to work with the United Nations Coordination Office there. And he advocates for the inclusion of voices of young people. You may have heard about the Millennium Development Goals, which are global targets for combating hunger and poverty and advancing development. Those targets are set to expire next year. And Peter has helped the voices of young people to enter into this global dialogue on a post-2015 agenda. Why is this important? Over 2/3 of Cambodia's population is younger than 25 years. All of these youngsters, all of these people I've spoken about are UN volunteers, about 6,000 or so on the ground, 11,000 or so online. They're young and old, rich and poor, able-bodied and disabled. Some of them work in their own countries, some of them work in countries other than their own. Some of them work 2 to 4 years in over 83 countries in very hard conditions. Some of them work from home on their computers. What do they have in common? They all have a deep, abiding belief in giving something to members of their extended global community. They have the compassion to feel for them. They have the conviction that we have a shared responsibility to do something to ensure peace and development. They have the courage to give up something, time, money, comfort, to do something about it. They believe, as I do, in the fundamental values of the United Nations, that all human beings have a fundamental right to lead a life of and raise their children in a dignified manner, to be free from hunger, from poverty, from oppression, from injustice. They believe that their actions can help transform lives. But they also know that their lives can be transformed by their acts of giving. They know that even the most skilled professionals will understand better how to work in complex development situations and encounter challenges. And our youngsters know, the young volunteers know, that they gain valuable professional skills, that they learn to work in multicultural settings, that they learn to manage themselves by doing this. And Tom Shaw would tell you much more. Tom Shaw was a development worker, and in July 2011, he had an accident which broke his neck and left him paralyzed from the shoulders down. Tom didn't give up. He instead became an online volunteer. Using voice recognition technology, he works with the team that helps translate documents from Portuguese and French into English for UNDP in Guinea-Bissau, which is one of the poorest countries of the world. These documents relate to planning for natural parks and protected areas. And Tom says that the knowledge that his work is so valuable to UNDP has given him the confidence to transition back to work. So, when you hear all these inspiring stories, do you want to volunteer? Do you need to get on a plane to Syria or South Sudan in order to do so? Of course not. Germany has a fine tradition of volunteering, and the IB curriculum certainly emphasizes that. Your community and service program facilitates everything from the lost and found to supporting institutions in Zambia and in Vietnam. But I would like to reflect a little bit on the underlying values. As we've heard so many times this evening, you and I are privileged. We have children of privilege. Our middle schoolers are at an age where they are learning who they are, what they stand for. And so to them, to you, I would say, who belongs in your community? If you are smart, do you include the child who's struggling? If you're athletic, do you include the nerd? If you are popular, do you include the one who's not? In closing, I would like to wish you, as a member of this proud BIS parent community, what I wish for your children, what I wish for mine. That they have the compassion to feel for all human beings, regardless of who they are, what they look like. That they have the conviction to do what is right. That they have the courage to act upon their values. And most of all, I wish that they learn the humility to know that when they work to enrich the lives of others, they will surely, surely enrich their own. Thank you.